Today we reflect on the tragic downfall of the Almohads in Andalus. Imagine the year 1199 as Abu Yusuf al-Mansur breathes his last. His son Muhammad al-Nasir ascends to the throne, burdened with great expectations. Muhammad initially finds success, liberating the eastern Maghrib and the Balearic Islands from the Banu Ghaniya. But the year 1212 would mark the beginning of sorrow. Muhammad al-Nasir gathers a vast army from Andalus and North Africa to face a crusade called by Pope Innocent III. This army faced not just Iberian knights, but warriors from across southern Europe. And here the tale takes a dark turn. Ignoring the counsel of his experienced generals, Muhammad al-Nasir makes fateful tactical errors. The result is a devastating defeat at the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa. This loss was a turning point. Almohad authority began to crumble in both Iberia and North Africa. Internal revolts and dynastic conflicts erupted, tearing the realm apart. Iberia was abandoned to face alone the impetus of the Reconquista, and the Almohad grip on North Africa began also to loosen. After the death of Muhammad al-Nasir in 1213, the princes of the royal family, who held the government of Andalus, each seized the opportunity of extending their power and authority, even going so far as to hire Christian troops and surrendering the fortresses of the Muslims to the Christians to solicit their help against each other. The Christians, sensing weakness, swiftly advanced into southern Andalus. Towns fell one by one. Whole towns of Muslims were massacred by the advancing Christian kings, and the lands held by the Muslims were rapidly diminished. Cordoba fell in 1236, Valencia in 1238, and Seville in 1248. The Reconquista was relentless. The Christians conquered virtually the whole of Andalus, with the exception of the Kingdom of Granada. Many of the Muslims who were not killed in the fighting and who could not bear to work as slaves for the Christians managed to make their way to Granada. This became the last defiant stronghold of the Muslims in Andalus, and Islam continued there for another 2.5 centuries after the fall of Seville. The last Muslim stronghold, Granada, held out for another 2.5 centuries, but the end was inevitable. Meanwhile, in North Africa, the Almohad realm was unraveling. In 1230, the Hafsid governor of Ifriqiya declared independence. A decade later, the rise of Ziyan in the central Maghrib led to the formation of the Abd al-Wadid kingdom. The Ziyan kingdom emerged in the central Maghrib based on Tlemcen, and within Morocco the Marinids were eroding Almohad power. By 1269, the Marinids captured Marrakesh, and 8 years later Tin Malal, cradle of the Almohad movement. The capital shifted to Fez, marking the end of Almohad dominance, and so a tale of power, ambition, and ultimate decline comes to a somber close. History, with all its tragedies, continues to remind us of the fragility of empires.